Hey, welcome back to Ping Pong Flix. My name is Chris Wong. We are ready to watch Batman v Superman, the ultimate cut. Now, this is the one I want to watch because the theatrical cut, it was good. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty good when I went to the theater. It was kind of choppy, and the focus was mainly on Batman. I'm a huge Superman fan, so I felt kind of cheated when there was not much Superman in it, or didn't feel like a Superman focused movie. So I was happy that the ultimate cut came out, and this truly is like a Superman focused movie. It really goes through his story. It has more details. It makes a lot more sense. So we're gonna watch the Batman v Superman ultimate cut instead, and let's get with this right now. It's 3 hours, so I'm in it for the long run. It's late here, so if I start yawning, it's not because I'm bored, it's because I'm tired. Okay, all right, here we go, and ready and now. So it's digital, Warner Brothers screen, the Leaf, Rat Pack Entertainment. I don't know how that's going to work now with all that thing about Brett Ratner. Perfect things. I just love the way he talks about it's just so poetic. I mean, the writing in this is just fantastic, and I think we owe it to David Goyer, yes, but I think Chris Terrio did most of the dialogue in this movie. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice Ultimate Edition. It's just so beautiful. I mean, I'm really at all in the terms of the way it's shot. You know, it's different from Man of Steel, because Man of Steel, he tried to do it more, not as stylized as how Larry Fong is doing his cinematography for this. He is more jumpy, you know, more realism. This one, he goes back to his artistic forms of like 300, of Watchmen style. And that's the style that I really dig. The music is just, it's just... Jeffrey Dean Morgan is Thomas Wayne. Now, I wonder when they cast him, are they ever thinking of along the lines where one day he's gonna be Batman in Flashpoint? I think so. I really think they went out that way. Michael Wilkinson doesn't get enough credit for doing a lot of that costumes. Remember that bullet? Just remember that bullet dropping scene. I don't know why people get up in arms about seeing the origins of Batman over and over. I mean, I understand that point of view because we've seen it so many times already, but I think it sets it up for this version of Batman to just get it out in the front, get it out of the way as part of the opening. It works perfectly, and it connects to a scene later on in the movie that is very controversial, but it has to be done, you know. Notice how Jeffrey Dean Morgan's arm reaches out, very much like Henry Cavill reaching towards the sun. The pearl dropping from the past, but to what this would be probably a dream sequence. This is his dream. This is not actually happening. I mean, it did happen. I'm thinking that he did fall into a well, but this is kind of glorified, and it's very symbolic in a sense, as the bats over there probably got him, but I don't think he was floating in the actual thing. But it's all part of the symbolism. I jumped in theater. That's part. You hear the music ramp up. No, 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 no. As he rises. Now, some people are like, "Why is he flying?" It's just like, come on, you can't think of this as in like an artistic symbolism here. I mean, he literally, Bruce Wayne literally says, you know, in the dream, you know, he says it's a dream. Rising towards the light. What he's meant to do, meant to be. A beautiful lie. It's the writing is just fantastic. Metropolis, Superman. Now, this is underrated. Just think about it. We saw Man of Steel last week. And just to see this is like a different point of view. It's not every day you can have a movie where a sequel you get to see another point of view of the same action. And then if you cut this within Man of Steel, it works, you know. Boom. Let's make it happen. Whoa. The action is just awesome. Look at that. Look at those effects. I just love this music. I just love this music. This music is from the Man of Steel. I don't know what it's like the General Zod, the Kryptonian song. And the ship going through the buildings, because that's after Superman laser beams it and it crashes the ship. So Bruce Wayne was literally down there driving. I like this. This is like just in awe. Just this is what people would do. They don't know what to do. They're like, what is that in the sky? You know, what is that in the sky? Boom. That's when the Colonel and Faora they land into the thing. It's going into the Phantom Zone. I love the music here. It ramps us as he's running. He's running towards the building, towards the danger. Superman, you can see him, brah! Laser Zod doing his laser eye beams at that moment. I teared up in this scene. Like, I teared up because I don't know the guy, but it just felt the hopelessness. And all you can do is pray. Look at this. Bruce Wayne running into the danger. Running like a, wow, like a hero, a true hero. Mortal man. Amidst the chaos, people are just confused. You know, you could really feel, and yeah, I mean, it really goes into that 9/11 thing, sure, but that adds another sensibility in your head. You know, that's another thing in your head that connects you. And I don't know why they cut out this whole scene about the kids. It's simple, but they put it in there. For the longest time, you know, my friend and I, when we first watched this, and he said Wally, we really thought it. Wait, is that Wally West? Is he trying to be? No, it's just some guy. Some. You kind of feel bad for this guy. Oh, save her! Whoosh. This part is heartbreaking. Where's your mom? Just can think what he's going through at the moment. This girl lost his mom, like how he lost his parents and all alone, and all that came back. You know, this tragedy, just he's pinpointing at this figure in the sky with a red cape. All he knows is this guy did this. You know, he may not have been the instigator or whatever, but he was involved. If he wasn't here, if Superman was here, none of this would have happened. So it brings up all that anger within Bruce, and he goes into this blind rage somewhere in the Indian Ocean. This, for the longest time, this rock, people were like, oh, in the trailers, was that, oh, that looks like Aquaman. Is that Aquaman's head? No, it wasn't. That's the fun thing about watching trailers, and we'll know in time with Justice League, depending when you watch this. Lots of things, lots of speculation, but that's part of the fun, you know. That's part of the fun. Now I'm watching the Fandango MGO copy, and I already noticed that I do have that saturation, you know, color correction problem, that bug that people were reporting from iTunes. So I can't really show you this, but this also is much more brighter. The color is there, different from what I'm used to. I could have easily threw in the Blu-ray, but it's easier for the digital for me. Here's a huge extended scene. Jimmy Olsen himself. By the way, before I kind of skipped it, but the guy who got that rock, you'll see him later on. Jimmy Olsen. So we all know he's a agent, and I don't know if it's been confirmed or not, but that he's may actually not be Jimmy Olsen, and they could actually retcon it, because he could have just got the name of a real life photographer just so he can get into this and be undercover. So this may not actually be the real Jimmy Olsen. He's just using that name. Let me know if Zack actually confirmed that or not. This lady's fearless. Lois Lane, Amy Adams, Lois Lane is fearless. People say she's useless, and I can say, yeah, it wasn't very good where she was portrayed in the theatrical cut, but in the ultimate cut, it makes a lot more sense as she plays almost a detective role. I'm not a lady, I'm a journalist. So not many people know until they see the credits, or maybe actually when Bruce Wayne actually looks into this guy. What's his name? I can't remember his name, his real name, but he was in 300, the second 300, Rise of the Empire. So he plays KG Beast, which is an actual villain within the DC Comics world. Yeah, he totally knew that was a CIA agent. He didn't even have to check that. So I remember in the theatrical cut, we didn't know that was Jimmy Olsen at all. Ultimate cut, we know it's Jimmy Olsen. Well, his name undercover as Jimmy Olsen. CIA. I kind of remember Zack Snyder saying he wanted to do this as a shock factor, which is a huge shock factor. So, but I still don't know if it's confirmed that's really Jimmy Olsen. Poop. Oh, he's gone.
We've lost our asset on the ground. We'll keep we have lost our asset on the ground. Still civilian in the compound. No shots. Negative. Are we to engage? Stand down and get black. We're going to be friendlies in the blast zone, so call the goddamn drones. Stand down as a border.
Interesting here, where it's a little bit of a conflict. They want to go in and they're ready just to take a predator out there and destroy him. Even though Lois Lane is out there, but you know. So he knows this whole thing was planned out. He's Lex Luthor's right-hand man. We don't know that yet at this point. We're just kind of a little bit confused with what's going on. And all of a sudden he's killing the people that hired him, you know. Confusion. Shoots the book. The book's gonna be important later on. You can see that they added some of that CG blood. Torching him. So this makes much more sense now than when the theatrical versions didn't show any of this. So you're left to confused of why people think that Superman actually did this. But they torch them, making it away like it's the laser eye, you know, his laser eye beams. Stick a middle finger at the Predator. Yeah. So this is such an incredible movie in a way. It's almost, I want to say almost LA Confidential-ish, because they have all these little things and it adds up towards the end and makes sense at the end on who's actually the real bad guy, even though, you know, comic nerds, we all know who the real bad guy is. One. And it's Superman. Boom. Twice. Look at him smile. By what? Boosh. First time we see Superman, and I mean really see Superman. Dun dun. The Hans Zimmer score. Dun dun. Okay. Then it go. Boosh. Did he kill him? Zack Snyder has recently confirmed no, he did not, but he's not a problem anymore. Originally, when in the theater, I was like, when he did that, I immediately thought that he had taken him to like General Swanwick or something. I know a lot of people have already just went straight to the fact, oh, he killed him, you know, but I knew he didn't. So again, this makes more sense than just cutting to Lois, because now you see the dead bodies, you see the burn marks, like Superman literally could have came in here, torched them all with his laser eye beams. So the blame is there. All the evidence to put it on Superman is there. And of course, she finds the book, her book, and it has the bullet in it. So this lady here, only in this scene in the theatrical cut, you don't see her at all. She is not even a character. So in the original theatrical, you're meant to wonder, oh, did he actually do all that? You know, it doesn't make sense. Why would he do that? So it almost made him out really much more like the bad guy in the theatrical cut. But we all know later on who she really works for or got paid to do. Only one. Hey, it's the scene that they shot, and I think Ray Fisher was in this. I'm not sure. Victor Stone. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So I think, I'm not sure which one was Victor Stone. I'm thinking that the one who caught it, but I can't believe. I like that. And it always, I don't know what you call that in terms of cinematography and directing. Like, things could get ugly in the city tonight, and it goes into, you know, the next scene that kind of shows that. It's almost setting you up. As opposed to original and theatrical, it went from just the bats coming out of the chimney to that. So I like how, in terms of introducing Batman in this one, it's very much like a horror movie. Very scary. They're, you know, the people that he saved are freaked out by him. The police are freaked out by him. He's just a really scary dude, which he should be, because he strikes fear. You know, that's his weapon. No, no. What language is that? Is that Korean or Vietnamese or? I like how the senior cop lets the junior cop go first. Come on now, man. Come on now. It's a bit like the Dark Knight Returns cartoon, where they have the senior cop and the junior cop, and they go chasing the bad guys, and he's telling the junior cop, "You're in for a treat, because this is the Batman." But that's the Return. So originally, this movie, he was supposed to be retired, but it never is actually done that way. He's been pretty much Batman this whole time. And he has not taken a break, as originally I think they were going to do, where he retired like the Dark Knight Returns. Would that have been better? I don't know. I think it would have added too much. Well, yeah, he's in a corner, and that's kind of creepy, if you know what I mean. A little bit creepy. I think my kids were kind of creeped out too. Look how he moves. He moves so quickly, like a bat crawling across the ceiling, which is the key. The idea to make him look more like a demonic bat than an actual a person. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He branded him. Brandon, his new way of striking fear into them. It's almost like Zorro, you know. Of course, they'll play that into Lex's plan. Now in this version, it cuts to Lois Lane in an apartment. Man, I can really tell the color here. They put a lot. They really up the saturate. Was it up the saturate? Yeah, up the saturation on this. I can tell. Lois getting into her detective work or journalistic skills. The theatrical cut, and I'm going to keep doing that, by the way, because I just want to let you know that the ultimate cut, if you have not seen it, you have to see the ultimate cut. It's far superior. The bullet plays a lot more into it, a lot more investigative work by Lois Lane. It's a little bit of, you know, Clark and Lois romance. It's been 5 months after all. Or no, 18 months, right? 18 months. Yeah, I didn't kill any of those men. So you can start to see how Superman really tries to does his best to save people, to do good, just to get you know, crapped on by the media, by people around them, and just misunderstood. And in a way, it's like the audience who did not like Man of Steel. We are the world that he lives in, where we misunderstand him as you watch him struggle to become a good person, to bring hope. And it is hopeful. It's just that we don't reciprocate that towards him. You know, mankind doesn't. Here you go. So original theatrical cut from the Gotham scene actually cuts to Bruce Wayne coming down the elevator, but this one they switched it around. I just love the banter between, not the lack of trying. It's just his sarcastic tones. It's so funny. Alfred is hilarious. Yeah. So it's all about the white Portuguese. He's investigating. So we do get a bit of this Batman being detective, the world's greatest detective here, but fall prey to his own rage. New rules. Yes, sir. Everything's changed. So here you get a little bit of the feel about what happened since Superman came down. How Bruce Wayne as Batman has changed, you know, which I get the feeling that he has done. He is a new mean to him, like how some of the Gotham City's citizens talk about him later on, and it's in result because of Superman showing up and destroying city. He's gotten more rage. He's more enveloped into his past. And it's a huge problem for him, and so he has become a darker person, and possibly why he starts just shooting at people and not caring if he kills the bad guys or not. But you can kind of tell from how Alfred talks to him, is like, this is a new you, man. Is this really? Are we going this way, man? As he continues to delve into darkness. Now, Lex Luthor, a lot of people did not really care for this interpretation of him. At first, I was kind of like, wow, it's kind of weird. But, you know, I gotten used to it because he has that anger in him. The way he does it weirdly and almost like Riddler-like for a change. But, you know, I was okay with that. After a while, I got used to it. General Zod. Now that's not Michael Shannon there. That's not actually him over there. So this is the first time we actually realized, oh, there is kryptonite in this universe. The script for Lex, the way says and the line at the bottom, the whale. You know, it's so, the script, if you really listen to it, the way the plays on words and things like that, it's fantastic. It's not simple, like to the point. It's almost lyrical. I don't know. I wouldn't say. Gods among men. Blue planet here. Yeah. If you forge one, you don't have to depend on the kindness of monsters. It's the play on words. It's awesome. It's not like he doesn't say how normal people would say, because he's very intelligent, and it shows. Having him be almost like, you know, what's his name? Mark? I forgot his name, right? I'm drawing a blank. The guy for Facebook, you know, Zuckerberg, or like just a tech guy, a young tech guy who either got the fortune from his father, or because he's really smart, he's able to do this. So having that type of rich person, you know, type of businessman, as opposed to, or business/scientist kind of guy, as opposed to the real estate guy from before, it's actually kind of refreshing to see that he already has an empire. He is a CEO or whatever. He owns this company called Lex Corporation, just like in the comics. The way he goes about it is different, but yeah, I think it's refreshing. And his Lex Luthor's theme music is just dun, 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 you know, really quirky and cool. Michael Shannon is not really there, guys. That's actually an actual life-size model that they've made of him. A Jolly Rancher. He's literally feeding him, like, you're under my control. That's the analogy between the Jolly Rancher. The theatrical cut, I think they talk about Batman. I from what I remember.
To look him in the eye and ask him how he decides which lives count and which ones do not.
Which lives count, which one do not. So he wants to know more. So that starts the Clark Kent, his own investigation into the matter. Poor guy, man. Also manipulated by Lex Luthor. I remember one of the first behind-the-scenes photos of Batman v Superman was this statue. Parts of it, because parts of it was actually, I don't know if it was CG'd or actually made that, because you know, later on Doomsday destroys it. That's gonna be some strength, man. No feet, and he's using his arms. That's some strength. Hmm. Sports fan. Park, hate crime. Well, you see the Gotham City game on the right side. I didn't remember that. I work for Bruce Wayne. False God. You know, remember the first one of the first teasers we see? This is where you see the shot of False God. End of love. It's funny. It's the way to put seeds of doubt in people's minds, seeds of doubt in Superman's mind as well. This was completely cut out. Clark Kent investigating did not happen in the theatrical cut. So I'm super happy that it did. And this is where you get a sense of where Gotham is. It's right across the sea. This is the first time you actually see it from Metropolis' side. So he has never really gone there. So working under Perry White, he's only done things in Metropolis, small stuff. So he's doing his own investigation. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fear. Kind of mean in him. The Batman. So that's the first time he ever heard of the Batman. As you know, he's an urban legend, an urban myth. He comes out at night, you know. And it's probably why Superman doesn't like, because he strikes fear, as instead of utilizing, you know, his Superman uses hope. Wow. Are these real MMA fighters? I don't know. But I like how Bruce Wayne just gives him a few tips on how to take him down. He's able to take him down. A lot of people miss this part where Batman actually is investigating. He's doing stuff. He's not. People are like, oh, he's just. Oh, what kind of Batman is this? He's going to a place to bet on games and stuff. But this is all part of him investigating. You know, he's doing detective work, Trying to get close to KGBs. Flips the phone. Look, he records something. See? Prime wave. Wet. That has become a meme every day now. Water wet. Perry White is awesome at this. Lawrence Fishburne is awesome.
Good morning, Smallville.
Smallville. So they're not supposed to be dating out, or they're known that they're dating, because look how they don't try to look at each other too much. The ask. See, he looks away. He's like, oh man. This part's funny. Coach. No extra leg room. Coach. This was cut out too. See? Lex Luthor sent the invitation to Clark Kent to go to that function. That was in a theatrical cut, so you're like, why is he there? You know, it's just, it's never apparent. This interaction is the dialogue. I've already said the script is fantastic, by the way. It's just the way they play on words, the analogies, the symbolism. Like if you watch it once, you'd probably get hints of it, but when you watch it multiple times, and that's why I love Batman v Superman, because you can watch it multiple times and you pick up on a few more things and a few more things and a few more symbolisms that connect to maybe even Man of Steel. The red capes are coming. I like that. An invasion of superheroes is what it's implying, you know. Invasion of gods among men, you know. Always lies. Piss and call it Granny's peach tea. And it's funny that it's a small moment where she says that, but you instantly remember it when he gets to the courthouse. You instantly remember it just seeing that. Yeah. Those don't come to hell beneath us. They come from the sky. Because he planted that lady to go, he knew that lady was testifying and was testifying against Superman, and he knew that the senator was there, so he is just a little bit more just putting that nail on that Superman is the devil coffin, just making his case, trying to prove his case. Here, Bruce Wayne. Look at that. I almost think that part was a symbolism of Superman itself too. With her. Martha Wayne. You remember his name is Martha. Martha Wayne. This part, I know I always jump out of my seat. I don't know if I'm going to jump out now. Blood coming out. You're like, what is going on? What is going on? Am I going to jump? I'm probably going to jump. I don't know what's going to happen right now. I hate jumping movies. It's always. Ah! Okay, yeah. It wasn't that bad. That's an awesome creature effect, though. That's an awesome creature effect. Is that the Man Bat? I don't know. Bruce Wayne doing his thing. Some unidentified girl next to him. Bruce Wayne being Bruce Wayne. In this part of the section, the edits on the theatrical cut does not make sense, because it literally goes from here to Lois Lane, Jenna Swanwick, and then cuts back to here. When in this way the flow is better, it goes to Alfred in the morning. And then be Next Generation. The sarcasm in Alfred is awesome. Personal Reddins. Lex Luthor. Mm-hmm. So Alfred, really, you can tell he doesn't want him to be Batman. He wants him to be Bruce Wayne. And here go hosted and invited by Lex Luthor. So this part, he's almost kind of just, should I go as Batman or go as Bruce Wayne? It's like looking at rage itself. And just reminded, also as an Easter egg, that Joker killed Robin. And we get a little bit of that in Suicide Squad as well. I don't think the butt shot was necessary, but I think over here was to show some of those scars. Nice car, man. And as you're driving out, you can see Wayne Manor's decimated. I don't know if they actually explain why Wayne Manor is decimated, burnt down. Was it the Joker? Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. There is some shaky cam here. It's Bruce Wayne. The way he is, you never know he is a bad guy. He's like some eccentric kind of weird person. Gal Gadot. Even had a hint of that Wonder Woman theme. You already hear some super hearing. Zoom. It's just Wonder Woman. She's all like, yeah, whatever. Like, you know what my dad was like. Mercy was surprisingly very small role in this. Hmm.
May I help you, Miss Roy?
May I help you?
Has rooms upstairs.
I like them shoes.
Like those shoes.
Some young lady from Metropolis make you honest. It's funny he says that. Some lady from Metropolis make you honest, and I gotta believe that is Lois Lane during the Martha scene. See, he's in the background. KGB's right in the background. Nobody. It's very awkward, but hints of rage towards gods and things like that. Someone, I mean, he's rich, he's got everything, but he just does not have what Superman has. All that power. I like this. Pretty girl, bad habit. I like it. Do I? Hypocritical. Cat out of the tree, man. There's the cat out of the tree. You get a little backstory of his thinking. Dressed like clowns. Joker reference. Planned, of course, because you invited both of them. Oh. Never fight with the person. But see, he already knows he's Superman. That's why I invited him. And people are like, how does he know he's Superman? Well, he's smart. He's Lex Luthor. I mean, he's got eyes and ears everywhere. He's pretty much telling Batman, my R&D is up to no good. He's almost pretty much telling him. And KGB's is there, so it's like, wait a minute. Of course, Superman's distracted. He figures he needs to go save some people. Whoops. It's funny that Wonder Woman is just standing there like she's like, oops, he noticed that I took it. Literally just flies off already. That quick. Oh man, that's pretty fast. He went all the way to Juarez. Oh, look at that. Look at that. He's saving somebody. Oh my god. He's saving somebody. The music, Superman's theme, the Man of Steel theme. And look at this. This is representative, almost like the same scene as in Man of Steel, where he was being drowned by skulls. It's the same. Day of the Dead. Here he's saving a ship that sunk. Just a montage of his feats. But still continuing to be judged by the media, judged by the world. Yeah. And it's all true facts and realism. I mean, this is what would happen in our world today. If a being that can do anything, should we trust him? What if one day that being turns on us? Could happen. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like this. This is very much the way she reaches out towards the sky in that shot is Alex Ross. I think even in they utilize that in Kingdom Come, where Superman saves on that bridge, and they reach out towards him. And some people are like, why is he just in the air? As you can see, it's a slow motion. He's actually coming down. He's floating down. But no, people just, I don't know, they just need to see everything. There is. Man, you just like down in the dumps all the time. You try to do the right thing and no one cares. Or they do care, but not in a positive way. And this is great. I don't know why they should have left this in the movie. Him talking to his mother, you know. When you're in the down in the dumps, you've been through a bad day. You know, you call your mom. And it's just heartfelt. It just shows how human he is. Yeah, you wish he was dead, you know. You call your parents when you have nobody to talk to, you know, your girlfriend's off trying to investigate some bullet, you know. And Gina Malone, when everybody thought Gina Malone was Carrie or Oracle or whatever, Batgirl, you know. But nope, she's just a Star Labs, Crime Labs scientist, Crime Labs person.
Maybe they gave them extra levels to test fear, using live soldiers as guinea pigs. This is what makes you such a good mother. Stuff like this still shocks me.
But they cut her out completely. I mean, I don't know why. They're oh here, okay. Branding, Bat brand is a death sentence, and it's only a death sentence, as we'll find out later. That they kill them. They kill them. They kill anybody who has the Bat brand to show that Batman doing that leads to death, and you know, Superman doesn't want to kill anymore, right? He's already done that. Done that once. So the fear is like he'll die with the Bat brand. Of course, this is probably maybe closer to when you realize that Lex Luthor has some kind of hand into this whole mess. You know, because we know Lex Luthor is a bad guy, but as like an audience member who doesn't know Lex Luthor is a bad guy, you're just seeing scenes here and there. You're seeing KGBs doing things, and you start to put together a scenario what Lex is actually planning. He's arranged everything. Let me face him. Get Superman into that trial. Here, KGB's once again arranging something. This man's demise. I can see why this wasn't like in the PG, because it's kind of brutal how the way he shanks. It's not just one shank, it's just like shank, 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 shank. Stab, 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 stab. Oh, 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 oh. He did it. And that's why the Bat brand is bad. Perfect way to, you know, this is a way better cut. Originally, this was part in right after Bruce Wayne wakes up with that girl in the bed. It did not make sense.
Alright. If the U.S. provided experimental military arms to rebels in
No balls like yours.
Your balls like yours, you belong in here.
not him, but it's metal. Fired in Superman. Experts at the Pentagon can't ID it. We haven't been.
Here's the truth. The reporter got greedy for a scoop. What more she should? Superman acted like some low combatant dressed for the people, but only better conspiracy theory to put back his halo. Or yours. So, I logged into your Dropbox to find a copy. There's a copy of it.
There's a copyright. Friend. Damn bat thing.
Police won't help. The press has to do it like that. You don't get to decide what to think. When the plan was founded, it stood for something perfect. So could you if it was 1938, but it's not
938 reference back.
iron no more. Don't cost a nickel. Not in here.
Not out there.
But he cares about Clark Kent taking on the bats.
What? So does he actually know? I feel like deep down, he actually knows that he's Superman. I like how they showed. This was cut out, by the way, where oops, they show TV scenes all the time. It's very much like Dark Knight Returns, where they show the media constantly, the TVs of what's going on in the world, in conjunction with what's going on now. So, not sure what's going to happen in Justice League and how she's portrayed. I heard it's a little bit changed, but I figured she'd be like some kind of Tomb Raider. And when I saw this, or at least an artifact keeper, or artifact kind of maybe like a thief in a way. She's like, this is not the sword.
It's a fate. You own the soul in that here black market. Now it hangs.
I'll live without it for so long. Excuse me.
Took something that doesn't belong.
That's stealing if you steal from another thief.
I don't see how some people thought her, you know, acting is not a part, but it's very bold, very confident, very different from her Fast and Furious character.
What happens now I didn't. The battery covered as military grade encryption.
Well, I live with that dress 9 out of 10.
You're in the 10th.
See through that, babe. What's that?
I like how she's, oh, I don't think you've ever known a woman like me. And she's right, man.
Born with no natural inclination to share.
And because she's so, old, hundreds of years old, it makes sense she has the confidence in her, the subtle acting of she's older than him, she's more mature than him, and she's ahead of him. She's ahead of his game. Here we get into one of the most talked about sequences here. The nightmare scene, which is like full on Mad Max territory here. That is an awesome desert nightmare Batman getup. Oh, you see the Omega symbol. So Darkseid has already invaded. Not yet, but we'll see Parademon soon. The resistance is forming. The apocalypse is near. I thought that girl might have been a major player, but I guess she's just one of his guards or whatever, his soldiers. I don't think they're going to ever come back to this, but it'd be pretty interesting if they've ever explored this again, because I think this Injustice type world is fascinating. I mean, I hope so, because that'd be pretty great to have different types of, Injustice was a great video game, and it was an awesome comic, and I think it was a great run. I think it's still happening. And I think I want to see a movie about it. I mean, we've got a little bit of here, but I wouldn't mind seeing a whole movie in this world as part of like an alternate world. Lex, you see a Lex Corp? And of course, that's not kryptonite. So you got duped. Soldiers everywhere. Wait a minute, they got Superman symbols on their shoulders for some reason. Oh no! People are like, why is he shooting? Well, this is an alternate timeline. He's fed up. He's totally had it and is going nuts, so he starts killing. He doesn't care who lives or dies. He's gonna take them all out. It's anger and rage at its highest. This is an incredible sequence. How many takes was this? Because it's just a continuous take. Parademons flying in out of nowhere. This part in the theater, people who don't know what parademons are like going nuts, like, what is going on? What are these winged creatures? It's chaos. And then the music that Junkie XL put in here is very much Mad Max Fury Road. Snap his neck. Nice. Superman. Evil Superman. You can really see the fear. Look how angry he looks. It's scary. But I gotta say, beautifully shot. Just the composition, the colors. Oh man, just totally vaporized them, man. Subtle acting, just his fear. It's got a little bit of fear and anger at the same time. She was my world. Took her from me. How does that play? How does that play in the future, or if at all, at all? boom, like busted his heart or something. Oh. As everybody in the theater is like starting to get confused. It's Flash with a mustache. I don't like the mustache, you know. But I see this as a future Flash, so I can see he's an older Flash. I'm too soon. You're always... Now we are wondering to this. You're right about him. You're right about Superman. You're right about to fear him. This what starts his search for the metahumans at the end of the movie, because of this dream sequence. And in the Justice League trailer, he does mention that dream. He doesn't mention that specifically, but he mentions that he had a dream. So we can say that I like to think that the history doesn't change and something will happen, but you could say that that was a possible future, and this is the alternate already. Of course, Lex Luthor sending him the Batman of Justice, making him more angry at Batman, more contempt towards trying to stop Batman, and this shows that, oh, Batman's got to be stopped. He's judge, jury, executioner. Someone's got to do something about it. At the same time, he finds out about the white Portuguese, and it's interesting because I think Lex knew he would find him, so he wants Superman in a way to intercept him. Mm-hmm.
White Portuguese isn't carrying a dirty bomb. What isn't carrying it? It's a lever. It's a rock. And they don't have the capable of weakening the body themselves. The first thing we're going to have to do is something turned up within the ocean fleets. It is the help of the white Portuguese move further to Lex Luthor. Well, I invested to give it our move with them. To destroy.
To destroy. No. No. You're gonna go to war.
I saw the Toronto War lost 2 years ago. Jesus, on the count of day, thousands of people.
So blind by rage as a human, because I like that 1% chance of absolute certainty. Not our enemy. The dream fuels that rage. So what he believes could be a prophecy, maybe, but it's part of that truth that in his mind that Superman is evil. Superman must be stopped. At this point, he doesn't even know. He doesn't see him as anything but a godlike being that can do whatever he wants. He doesn't see what we see as Clark. He doesn't see him as being loved by anyone. He doesn't see him as having a family or mom. He's just some dude with a cape, Kryptonian. Not me. So even more investigation here. He know what he did. That's the judge. Here. Words don't stop him. You know what stops him? A fist. So ingrained in Superman, in Clark, that Batman won't listen to you. Okay? Batman won't read a paper. That won't work. A fist will work. You have to knock him down. And that is part of the reason why towards the end he fights Batman instead of he tries to talk to him, but it reaffirms when Batman's not listening. It reaffirms what she said to him earlier in this film, that he's not going to listen to you. You got to knock it out of him. You got to knock him out. So that's why Superman continues to fight Batman. Or do, physical things instead of trying to talk to him. Like back in the day where they're like, why does Batman have a rifle? That's not right. He's not supposed to have a rifle. And then of course we also, say, well, that's the Dark Knight Returns. He had a rifle in the Dark Knight Returns, but then we watched the film, and lo and behold, it's not a sniper rifle. He's just tagging the truck. So calm down, people. The music is very similar to the almost Hans Zimmer-ish, that type of music. This is the Batman theme for this Batman. Of course, if you've already heard the Justice League soundtrack, 1989 Batman's back. Look, watch this. Okay, he moves forward. This car, people thought he killed Deathstroke. This move forward, he hits an unoccupied car. Because that car moved forward, he hits an unoccupied car, grapples an unoccupied car. People, I don't know why you could not see that from the beginning, that's an unoccupied car he's dragging around. He's not killing them intentionally. But at this part, he is full on rage mode Batman. He is totally not caring what happens to these people. That's a mean minigun, man. Boosh. He doesn't care anymore. He's taking them all out. The sound effects in this is awesome. It's just, you hear a clink and clank and the motor running and stuff. Oh, here he goes, here he goes. That guy killed themselves. He didn't do anything. Where is he? This part's nuts. Okay, watch carefully. It literally just crushes over that. It hits the guy over the head. Well, he's still alive. See? He's right there. The effects is phenomenal. Here we go, here we go. Superman! This is an incredible shot. Just look at his face like, oh, what? Nothing. He didn't even kick him. He kind of just bounced it. He just bounced him. It just bounced off of him. And that already took him out. It's like nothing. But he doesn't care, man. Look, he just stands up, lives like, I don't care. Do your worst. Tell me. Do you bleed? It's like, okay. You will. He waited till he's out of ear's reach before he did that. Very simple moment. Man of few words indeed. But doesn't give them opportunity to explain themselves. Batman doesn't care if you explain yourself. He thinks a Superman literally flies around all day looking like that, you know. He doesn't think he has a human life at all. Zero. And Superman thinks he's a murderous guy. He intentionally kills people, which he kind of does, the criminals, and he doesn't. He's not a law-abiding kind of vigilante in a way. At this point, Lex Luthor is like, "What happened to the truck?" But I think he knows. That's why he sent those little news article pictures to Clark Kent, so that Superman would show up and help the criminals escape. And is when Bruce Wayne and Ben Affleck, Batman, finally realizes who is involved in this. Like, he knows they got it. And this part is interesting because Mercy comes up and Lex looks at her and realizes, even though she's part of it, she smiles. He's like, well, you know, she knows too much. I think she's got to go.
I don't have a halo over me, Mr. Secretary. I went into the desert and provide. It keeps me awake, it should.
The Bullet Man.
If you think that Superman is a murderer, then throw it away. Or I'm living.
How do we determine what's good? In a democracy, good is a conversation, not a unilateral decision. So I urge Superman to come to this hill of the people tomorrow, to see those who have suffered. The world needs to know what happened in that desert. Get to know what he stands for. How far will he take his power? Does he act by our will?
Everything set in motion, all according to Lex's plan. He has the kryptonite rock.
You see what you do. You know and you know. I never wanted this for that.
Now, people get gripes about what she says here, but man, a true mother who her son goes out in danger all the time, gets crapped on, you know, a mom would tell us, well, screw them, you know, you did your best, you know, I'm proud of you, you should be proud of yourself. It makes total sense now, you know, it's realism, it's realistic. Here we get more of a sense of Lex's, how Lex planned all this. We finally realize at this moment that she is not who she really is. Her motivation is not really what she thinks it is. That's that dude. That's that dude that said Gotham about Batman. He talked about Batman. All this part, her entire arc, just totally chopped out. So having her in it gives it more sense that the Senator Finch just realizes that Lex Luthor is not who he seems. Maybe all this Superman thing is not really there. That everybody's it's all a setup. And it's like a crescendo of all these things piecing together right up to that pivotal moment in the film. And I think it works very well in the ultimate cut. It kind of works because you had that sense of something is about to happen. It's going up to something, like we're realizing something, but it doesn't come out as great as the ultimate cut, because you got all the players. You saw that African woman and the Lois Lane figuring out that she was meant to be there to lead Superman there to make it look like it was all Superman, and the Wally doing Walter setting him up. He's got his contraption that he's moving it around, and it's all piecing together to this moment. The other proof that is all coming together by Lex Luthor is Bruce Wayne realizing that, wait a minute, why is he not getting my checks? He should be rich by now. I've been paying everything right now. Here, anonymous source. Luthor engineered everything, so we're starting to realize how much Luthor had at play here. KGB. See, this was also cut out where she's talking to him about Luthor doing everything, because when in the theatrical cut, the way she moves right now, right here, the way Senator looks at him like suspiciously, it didn't make sense in the theatrical cut. It's like, why would you look at him and be like that? But it makes sense now because she is suspicious of him after learning that he provided a script to that lady to lie. Open your eyes. I am your ghost. You let your family die. So Lex planned all that out. Hot seat. He's literally telling him, I'm about to kill you. Power can be a necessum. Man, he is brutal. This part was cut out. It just adds more of the web of the crime here. The web of intrigue, I guess you would say, or leading up to the bombing. Oh, brutal. Oh yeah, this thing was fixed, man. I could totally tell the color correction. So there's fans, there's people who hate him. They're all mixed in there. They're right next to each other. People think of he's just an alien. What are you doing here? Pretty powerful moment of Superman going through the courthouse. It's here to be judged.
Let me say at the outset that I'm grateful to our witness for coming before us today. talk to each other. We act by the consent of the government.
Content of the government, sir.
I have sat here before to say that shadow interventions will not be tolerated by this committee. Neither will I.
She's like looking, it's like, where's Lex?
Today isn't my
I thought there was gonna be more, but it literally cuts to us just like, what is going on? Wait.
only my working.
By the way, the guy that was next to her, he's literally in every Superman movie. Here you go. We start to realize what is wrong. Something's wrong.
We create a free and
Granny's peach tea. Remember Granny's peach tea? Call a jar of piss Granny peach tea. And she realizes something's wrong. Lex is not there. It's it's still shocking though. Boo! I mean, I gasped. I like, oh my god! He just literally just blew up. Like, this was the moment that made a huge difference. This is the pivotal moment in the movie. Everything led up to this. What Lex was trying to do, get Superman in that place, kill all these people, sacrifice Mercy. But I think she was knowing too much, so he had to let her out, get her out. You let your family die. Of course, get more angry. Get it. Just beat that anger into him. Because when you're angry, you don't think. I'm glad they included this part where Superman actually, you see, because in the theatrical cut you're like, he just flew off, like he didn't help or anything, but they show him here, he's helping the injured, he's trying to save people, but still, feeling responsible. And thank you. See, this should have been in the movie regardless. I mean, but I think in the theatrical cut we're trying to be in Batman's head, to see him as through Batman's eyes. In this movie we see through both of them. We see through Batman and Superman, but Superman focused. Doesn't know what to do. And she can't just go out there and huge bummer, man. Try so hard and people just crap on him. Interesting little thing on Alfred's like day-to-day activities. So that's supposed to be the proof that Wally did it. He drew a picture of the Senate with the fires and stuff, so as not to be suspicious of anybody else. That I mean, literally months of planning ever since that guy lost his legs. Just beat down for him, almost as much as Batman being angry at Superman. Having that guy being angry enough, hopeless enough to get him to this point, to sit in that chair, which has a bomb in it. One of the coolest Batman moments, and we're watching it through a camera. Look at that swoop. very, very almost the animated series Batman. I'm not gonna lie, I wish they actually filmed and showed Batman taking on people in here and stealing the kryptonite. But it's the power of being implied. Of course, he's not happy his kryptonite stolen. Superman. I didn't see it. So he has doubts in himself. He's like, maybe he doesn't care anymore. How come I couldn't see it? Of course, we know that it was lined with lead. Of course, he couldn't see it, but he doesn't know that. He's just, I mean, just losing hope within his what he's meant to do, what he's meant to be. Not living up to what his real father wants. This means something. Just like he pretty much gave up. Like he feels he's causing much more devastation than trying to actually help people, and it won't make a difference. Lex Luthor getting into the ship. So interesting enough, when the writers and script writers, they actually said that Lex Luthor wasn't even in the script till very late in the movie. Like they introduced him very late in the game, and actually going to the ship later in the game, which makes sense because look what he's wearing now. At the beginning of the movie, he had the case and he found the ship. So I like to say he hasn't even gotten the ship until this point, you know, when he asked to see the ship. It's actually in out of order in a way. They're cutting the scenes together, but it could make sense now because he lost the kryptonite. So without the kryptonite, he needs something else to be able to defeat Superman.
Very well. Let's begin. The Kryptonian archive contains knowledge from
100,000 different worlds. Inadvertently signaling out to Steppenwolf. Of course, you're just showing how strong Batman is. Training. We always need that training montage. Here he's cutting. Must take a lot to cut that thing, huh? You have to use a high laser, high powered laser. Making weapons. Ah, just shows the anger. Furious. Power. He's ready. Here is a little bit of a hint, and everybody's like, "Oh, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Flash, Aquaman." Now, some people would like to say that Lex Luthor made these symbols, but I have to beg to differ. They actually were already heroes. They've actually been around, and those symbols are what they are known for. Like Aquaman will probably have the A on his belt, so they took that and they made a GIF of that. Wonder Woman, of course, the W, the Flash because of the lightning bolt on his costume. So they've already been around. It's just that Lex Luthor didn't create those symbols. They've found footage, and then that's their code symbol for that icon, and also because it's an Easter egg. This is awesome. When the music came on, I'm like, whoa, I like this Wonder Woman music. I like it. Chris Pine. Of course, this will mean much more when we watch the Wonder Woman movie. It's a little bit of tease. But he realizes that she is not who she appears to be. Yeah, don't you think that looks like Michael Shannon for real? Like standing still, like good sport. Like he got a paycheck just to stand still. This guy from JTE Movie Thinks, he teased me when I says, oh, I thought he was real. I thought that was real Michael Shannon. The guy, instead of saying no, kindly, nicely, he said, well, you need a new, you need to check your eyes. Those glasses aren't working for you. Something like that. He really just went out and just teased me instead of talking nicely. Action forbidden. None will ever again. So this is interesting. Won't realize it now, but now that we know a little bit in Justice League that there was a little article or something that talks about Steppenwolf and he has defeated Doomsday before. So Doomsday may not just be a singular being, or Doomsday could be an idea, an abomination. It's a type of being that would be done using the science and genetically changing, altering dead bodies into turning into something else. So there's more than one Doomsday. So if you didn't like this Doomsday, there's opportunities to have a better Doomsday down the road. Crucifying Superman. This is almost like Superman 2 when Clark Kent goes back to the Arctic, like Fortress of Solitude. I literally thought he was gonna go find a Fortress of Solitude. He's come to die. So she's still doing investigating. She hasn't given up. Lex Luthor literally almost looking at Gotham, waiting for Batman to put up that symbol to call Superman to fight him. So this part she's investigating Walter White, was it? Wally's home. Of course, they added all this stuff in there to make it look like he is created that bomb. But she's a lot smarter than that. So it's kind of cool that she's utilized as investigating. Which this is all not in the theatrical cut, by the way. In the theatrical, they just did not use it enough and made it out like a pointless damsel in distress. But no, she really moves the story. Same metal. The wheelchair is lined with lead. All this stuff should have been in the theatrical. Couldn't see it. I'm gonna get a glass of water real quick, sorry. Interesting. I thought this, is he seeing a ghost or it's in his head? It's never really clear. It's I almost feel like it's a spiritual walk. I want to say he believed that he had heard this story before. He just never thought about it as it being connected in a way to his situation now. But now it is. So he is able to think about the analogy between what his father has done and to his own situation now. Miss you too, Dad. Oh, so sad. But it's what he needed to hear, that you can save and do these things. This is never going to be perfect. You can't save everyone, and there's always consequences, but at least that's one thing that's holding you to this world. Was Martha was for Jonathan and Lois Lane is for Clark. That's just one thing to keep you grounded. So the point of being good and everything is for Superman is Lois, while in counter is Batman has nothing left. He has nothing around him, nothing to lead him on. He's just living in the past, living in the dark trenches of this area, and just not being able to cope with anything else. He travels here, just enveloped in rage. He just cannot get out of his past. It controls him. And Alfred knows it. The rage and everything is literally eating him up, devouring him, just like that man bat in his dream, in his nightmare. More of that TV stuff. Oh boy. I would like to see him put that on. Like, that is one of some of the coolest costume ever. Dun 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 dun. I remember the first real first teasers of this part. Throws on the light. Superman's in the sky looking down. Boom! That was it. Batman versus Superman. It was a small little tease, but very effective. First time, well, not time. This may be the second time the Batman would have white eyes, just like in the comics. The first time was actually The Dark Knight with Christian Bale, when he had that white eyes light up. And here's the signal. That's the signal. The game has started. And she recognizes him. She kind of recognizes him because from the African thing, he was the guard, yeah? Do I know you? Oh, I do know you, but it's too late. Actually, seeing her get captured is more effective than just he just stares at her and it cuts to the helicopter. Because it looked like she was invited to go, and this one she was taken to go, so it's much more effective. Lex Luthor theme. Low likes. Dialogue, he's just funny. It's just clever dialogue. You're feisty. Sand in the desert. Circles. Round and
round they go to find Superman. Being one category will in that the shortest distance between you 2 points is a
straight line. His whole intention was to get Superman there. Boy, man, what if he didn't hear it all? Like, she would have been gone. That was pretty quick. Alright, now I'm gonna have to take out the guy that pushed you. Excuse me. That's so cool. Just having him stand there. Oh, it's just like the comics. Clark, Joseph, Kent. And he just realized, oh, you know who I am. Wait a minute.
No man is trying to be well. Even Daddy's fist that about it. I figured out right now. God is all powerful. Cannot be all.
God is all powerful. He cannot be all good. His fixation. His sole fixation that he can't control a God. And if you can't control something, it can't be good. You'll barely die. So this is when the first trailer came out. I'm like, why would Superman fight Batman? I don't understand. But then when we don't know yet, but at this point it's like trying to convince him to fight him. Like, I still don't. Why would he fight him? You think he'll fight for you? Yes. See, and this point is like, oh crud, you went and got his mom. Oh. Death by fire. Yes, he fell. I think at that moment, did he think that his mom had already died? Yeah. Where is she? What the day? Now it totally makes sense why he fights Batman. Totally. But I'm still like, that doesn't. Why would he fight? Because you know how they always for the trailers and everything, it's like, choose a side, Batman, Superman. They really marketed that, but it didn't. It is like that. Not, but it's more. It's more because he was Lex arranged all this so that he'd have to fight Batman. So it was not like he wants to fight Batman. He has to. Or figure out a way to get Batman to think, stop being so angry, and help him find his mom. So if anything, the marketing for who will win does actually would not make sense. You guys got the wrong mom, man. 34 minutes. Wonder Woman. We have to die. There was a scene before this. They cut it out of the movie. I don't even know if they filmed it. But it's him trying to search for his mom through his super hearing and drowning out murder, drowning out all these different crimes, just to try to focus on finding his mom. I agree it was too dark. It would have been too dark, so I'm happy they didn't put that in there. But boys share too. Crack Luthor's drive. Found your photograph. Now, it's one thing about this part. In the theatrical cut, it didn't flow very nicely. For some reason, it felt like they threw that in there. But for some reason, for the ultimate cut, it was okay. It actually flows nicely through. It gives you a little bit of a break until the fight, until the Batman versus Superman fight. But I would still kind of argue that if I were to do it, I would actually place this at the end of the film. But boom. I just push people and run away. I've never been in a battle before. Aquaman. Now we're gonna know that, man, his Atlantis scenes are gonna be way better because he doesn't have to look like he's holding his breath under the water. I mean, imagine filming that every scene, trying to talk through water. No, that's not gonna work. So CG it is. Boy, this guy, he's always creating like robots or something. One day Skynet's gonna take him out. Mother box. Does she know about the mother box at this point? I don't think so. Like in the history lesson for Wonder Woman, like if her mom ever told her about it. Here we go. Oh, not yet. At that point, it's like, oh. See, Perry White could be a tough guy, but yeah, he's got a heart. He could tell. On the roof. And here's Superman. Here I am. Like how he tries to talk to him. You know what? It's only so much you can do. You can hold so much patience. Understand. Just a flick. Superman really, wanted to, he could kill him. He just, that one push, he could have literally pushed him across the city. But he's just trying to beat him to his senses. Yeah, without the kryptonite, he wouldn't be able to do anything. Yeah. Words won't stop him. Nothing will. You have to use your fist. He remembers that lady with the kid. Says it all. You'd be dead already if you really, really wanted it. Poosh. Oh, bad idea. Oh. Choking on it. That's fear. Oh, he's like, oh my god, he just, what? Oh, come on, what? That really, the way they filmed it and the effects in his head, Rocky's like, those are real hits. Ah. Oh man, he really looks like he's pain. It's like, oh. Poo. It's like, oh. Wait, you know what? That didn't quite hurt at all. I think it's wearing off. Oof. The fan screening, this was the end clip, the special clip that we got, them charging at each other, and it cuts to black. We waited hours for that not fan trailer, but hours for that fan screening of the trailer now. The trailer, just a trailer. It was well worth it. Just the Man of Steel music. Did I mention already how beautiful this movie shot? Larry Fong, the cinematographer. It's excellent. It's much more stylistic than Man of Steel. Man of Steel was stylistic towards the end, but it had a lot of that shaky cam. It was very much, they were trying to film it almost like Dark Knight-ish. But this one is true Larry Fong, true Zack Snyder in every sense of the word. That's why this is Ultimate Batman v Superman Ultimate Cut is my favorite DC Extended Universe film. My favorite. And right now it's actually my favorite movie of all time. I'm not kidding you. Unless Justice League can do better. Ooh. Ooh, sorry. It's like 12 at night. Just holding him by the neck. That looks painful. This part sounds painful when Clark hits the thing. Oh, man. Oh. He really gets, man, he gets gets his feelings, or he gets his emotionally just pushed down. Then he gets his butt kicked by the Batman, and then he ultimately dies in this movie. It's such a sad, dark moment for Superman, when all he's trying to do is save people. He got her for no reason at all. Ah! Oh man. Here it is. This is the infamous moment that everyone always talks about and teases. And it's kind of cool because it has become part of our pop culture, this Martha moment, And I think that actually speaks louder, bigger volume, because it's ingrained in our memory, negative or positive. So remember now, all he sees is an alien. He's not even a man. Never even a man. Because all he knows is an alien. He came here, caused all this ruckus, thinks he's so powerful he can do whatever he wants. Martha. First trigger, he said Martha. If you hear your mom's name, you like, what? And it's like, what does that mean? Like, is he reading his mind? He's like, are you reading my mind? Save Martha. What are you talking about? So this right here, it just brings him back to that moment of his mom. And by the way, this part, I didn't even realize that both their names were Martha. It actually blew me away. Then he's looking at Superman, and he is the shooter. He is, what's his name? Matches Malone. He and Superman is, Clark, and he has become the murderer. And so he's confused. Like, why did you say the name? Why are you talking about? Are you reading my mind? Are you? And out of his rage, he finally sees the woman next to him. It's like, wait a minute. His mother, this alien that I believe never had a soul, has a mother, and he has a human there to protect him right now. Like, his whole blinded rage, he has totally not seen Superman as anything but a creature. So now he throws it away because he realizes he was about to be the hate, the person, the killer in the alley. He was about to be that person. He was about to kill a boy who has a mother, that, like how he has a mother, and yes, they're both the same Martha. And it makes a great point that he says Martha and he stops, because that automatically triggers. And Bruce Wayne ultimately realizing he had been had. He has been played by Lex Luthor. Notice he says, I'll make you a promise, Martha won't die tonight. Because it's his own version of being able to save a Martha. It's a symbolic of he can do what he wasn't able to do when he was a kid. He couldn't save his mom. But if he can save this boy's mom, it would make a huge world difference to him. Notice he says, I will save Martha. He didn't say, I'm going to save your mom. He says, I'm going to save Martha. Alfred's like, are you out of it? You're okay, man? And he says, sorry, Alfred, I'm being too angry. You don't. She should have just kept it on the side, you know? We have to dump it, but I guess she really wants to get it out of the way so it can never be used against Superman. Oops. They're like, what's going on? Boom. There it is. I like an active Alfred. I don't like, you know, even in the '89 Batman, where sometimes he would help and stuff. I love those moments because he becomes a partner and he's not just a butler. He helps with the suits. He does all the technical stuff. He can pilot this Batwing. One of the greatest moments in Batman history, an actual fight, like Arkham style Batman fight. And I think it's gotta be influenced because when you play the Arkham games, it's like this. This is like a live action version of that. Nice. Take them all out. It doesn't even care anymore. Still knocking them out though. Oh my god. So they inadvertently kill themselves. Oh my god, slam! Boom! Nice! Good thing the back of his neck is armored too, because that guy could have taken out his knife, his neck. Nice. Just like beating out his anger, taking it out on these guys. Oh, you see the bones. That's a lot of those rated R stuff implemented into the I think it was PG-13 Batman v Superman theatrical cut. Yeah. I was wondering about this. Does he punch him in the stomach or grab him by the balls? Oh, here. Classic Dark Knight Returns moment. What a beast, man. Goes through the wall like that. Mm-hmm. I believe you. Whoa, good reaction. Cape. A lot of people are like, why would he say a friend of your son's already? Like, they barely talk to each other and stuff. But you know what? In a situation like that where she's not trusting of anything and she was about to be killed, would it be smart to say something that would connect to her? Of course you're gonna say, I'm a friend of your son's, and she, trust that. This part's cool. This is very classic Batman, Superman working together. Ready to do the break. Classic Batman, where they've one-upped, they've got together, they figured out who the real villain is, and they work together. The devil will do it. Doomsday. Power wine. Metropolis goes dark. It's like an embryo. Yeah, it's like, what was it, 1 in the morning? Oh man, it's disgusting. That is disgusting. Well, that kryptonite really marked him here. It hasn't even healed yet. That's dead. Ooh, stink. Look at this. After all that, and Superman still saves Lex Luthor. Oh, no match. Boom. It's like, man, that hurt. Oh, knocked down the memorial here. This is a Doomsday, like way better Doomsday Superman fight than Smallville for sure. Like way better than Smallville. Drawing a blank on the name, but POTUS is actually voiced by the guy from The Conjuring. He was Night Owl in Watchmen. God, what's his name? Patrick. I can't remember his name right now. It's so late, my brain's frying. Turkish Airlines, big sponsor for this movie. It's funny in a way. It's almost like saying Zod came back, like Superman fighting Zod again. Oh, EMP. That's him growing stronger. She knows what she has to do. So I hear Gal Gadot wants to change it where she's always wanted to protect mankind. So here, Superman taking him out into space because he doesn't want to cause casualties. So he's learned. He was able to catch Doomsday off guard by coming from the back, pushing him out into space. Fire at will. Now this is kind of similar to the comics or the animated Dark Knight Returns, except that one he was intercepting. Was it a Russian missile, nuclear missile? So they added a little bit of that to this. So he saw the missile coming and he turns Doomsday towards it. Of course, that had no effect, or very little of. Oh boy. Like on this movie, because of so much of the criticism of Man of Steel, how it's not in a civilian area. Even they even did it with Age of Ultron to show that there's maybe this building's deserted, that island's deserted, there's nobody there. They were able to save this, save that because of all the negativity Man of Steel got. In the case that they started become spoon feeding you with information saying it's uninhabited or that there's nobody there. Oh, this port's empty, or like in the case of Age of Ultron, Hulk and Iron Man scanned the building and says, oh, okay, that building's empty. They added those things in because they're so afraid of people criticizing them for killing people all the time. Straight from Dark Knight Returns, except in Dark Knight Returns, he collects the energy from the flowers and the field, the grass. This one is directly from the sun. It's unkillable. You never even tried. Okay, fine. I guess nuclear missile would qualify as making him be trouble. It's Kryptonian. Nope. This also reminds me, I don't know if you guys seen DC Universe Online, the opening sequence where they have a battle, and then when it came to Superman, he was up by the sun recharging before he came back to try to save Wonder Woman, but Wonder Woman died in that one. Boom! Infamous scene where people really were upset that they spoiled this part of the movie. And the crowd literally cheers at every theater I've gone to. The crowd cheers, the music kicks in, Wonder Woman, everybody's clapping and cheering. It's such a good tease of the Wonder Woman that's to come. You show her at her fullest power, and then you go back in time to watch her at her beginning stages. It's interesting way of doing it, but it's different from Marvel, and I think that's how it should be, and that's how it's gonna be, because we're gonna see Aquaman in Justice League, and then we finally get his solo film, and we will get the Batman solo film, Cyborg. Seaport is abandoned. They always have to make a case that it's abandoned, don't worry about it, and it's all because of the hate that people have brought onto Man of Steel. You find a spear? It's a little busy. The Trinity at work here. I wonder how much more banter we're gonna get to Justice League just between each other. Oh, like Ares? She was with you, man. You send her an email. But money shot right here. I actually wish I saw that in theaters instead of a trailer. But it works. It works. This part was the most comic booky parts in the whole movie. Trinity fighting Doomsday. This. You don't get any more comic book than this. Of course. Damsel in distress. You know, there's this. Someone made a thesis where Superman's there to always save Lois Lane. Like, is she actually meant to die? The music is excellent. Yeah. Boom. Working together. She's furious, man. Fierce. Oh my gosh. Batman's watching like, I don't know what to do right now. Kind of out of my league. I don't get the hate of the CGI third act battle. I think it's epic, it's awesome, and it's like the reward almost for watching a whole movie through lots of talking and dialogue and stuff, and just to get a third act climactic CGI fest. I think it's rewarding. Just like Wonder Woman, I think it's really rewarding. We get to see her fight Ares in like that way, in that fashion. It's like you try so hard. And here's Batman like, oh no, he sees me. Run away, run away, run away, run away. Smoke screen just to get out of the way. Like her smile, right? She just wants a challenge. Boom! And he's growing bigger and he's growing stronger. At this point, I think Superman feels he has no choice. He has to stop him. But he must have felt that he might not make it out alive, you know? You are my world. It's probably like, oh, don't die, please don't die, but she's holding him down. I gotta say, next time, man, Soups, you just throw the thing. Batman did something. Batman did something. He actually you fired a kryptonite grenade at him, weakened him. So that Superman can do this. Puh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. Oh. This is the worst. Like he's actually pushing it in so he could stab him. Ah. Oh. And he's dead. So sad. I like this brief moment where they look at each other and she's like, I'm sorry, I couldn't save him. Of course, we have that whole Jesus type of imagery here. Intentional. Look, it's like she's asking, when she looks up at Gal, she's almost like, can you help me? You know, you're a god, or What do I do? And she's like, I know how you feel, you know. Steve Trevor died, you know. It makes you wonder. I mean, of course, Zack had already written out the story, so he knew where it was going to go. And I don't know how many people after watching Wonder Woman came back to this just to see how that played out. Like Wonder Woman looking up in the sky, remembering, you know, her loved one that died, and just very, I don't know, man, it's powerful stuff. It just makes so much sense. You know, I hope when Justice League comes out, you have that sense of where people will want to retrack back, and there's like a certain connections that wants you to go back to watch Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. I hope there's moments like that in Justice League. And of course, this was in a cut out from the film. It was released afterwards, and this is Steppenwolf. It doesn't look like the Steppenwolf we saw in the trailer. It's got the horns. He actually looks bigger, so hopefully I was actually very on point in saying, yeah, that's awesome, that's the Steppenwolf, that's great. So I'm eager to see the real one and see how that plays out. But yeah, I mean, it's not too far-fetched to say maybe he's also being influenced too by Steppenwolf. It's possible that when he did this, because he went to the ship, because maybe Steppenwolf gave contact, and he wants to have no protectors here, so no lanterns, no Kryptonian, and it was part of Steppenwolf's or Darkseid or whoever's plan to have Lex Luthor do all this stuff. So it could be. I mean, I'm not ruling that out. I like how everything's empty, nobody's around, everybody gonna attend the funeral of Superman out of respect. Kennedy dead, just to show, you know, the importance of that. It's, I mean, they're all gone. They all went to go pay respects to Superman, Clark Kent. Oh, that looks good. Actually, those food looks good. They cut out Jenny and Perry White from the theatrical cut. Pete Ross, they cut all this out. So it's good to see them back in here. It shows, you know, Perry White actually cares about his employees. You know what I mean? Man, that's sad, dude. And it's the ring. I take that as a yes. It's a big one. remember watching this, and it took me a few moments to, you know, actually comprehend that, oh my god, they just killed off Superman. Like, oh my god, they just killed off Superman. I'm just like, oh, maybe he's not really dead, or maybe the movie's a little bit longer, but it was shocking. I don't know if it shocked any of you. I mean, I had a hint of it because Doomsday was involved, but I didn't think they were going to do it now, you know? It's some awesome slow motion gun firing, cannon firing. General Swanwick. Isn't it weird that both sides had General Swanwick, had look at that lady next to her, I forgot her name. Oh, shoot. But, you know, brunette, and then on the other side was Perry White and Jenny's brunette. It's interesting. I never thought about it, I just saw that now. Honor him as a soldier. Gun shell hitting the, you know, that signature Zack Snyder stuff. Signature. They have that in the trailer for when Batman fires off the cannons as well from his car. The father, I think, I'm trying to remember. He looks a little different, but I think he's meant to be that father that he talked to about what he should do in Man of Steel. This part, they talk. It's a little bit of. It's all taken care of by Bruce Wayne. So I like that it goes from there, it cuts to a scene, because when the song breaks up, it gives you a break from that. It readies you for the next thing. So that when it cuts to the flashback that Bruce Wayne has, it's not so abrupt. Yeah, because the body's here and not over there. Failed him. That's his promise that he makes in Justice League. We have to unite. Come together. So that part is going to be retcon. She has been fighting crime and stuff. She didn't turn away from mankind. Kill. Betray one another. You can see the honor and respect here. Just, it's like Earth forgave him, you know. Granted, all this part is like set up for the next one for Justice League, but I'm okay with that. It actually beats waiting through credits just to see a scene, you know.
Turn around and face the wall. Place your forehead against the wall. Put your hands behind your back. Without telling you to scream.
Oh man, that's scary. That's scary stuff.
This is how it all came. Civilization on the way matters. I'm saying. I'm not even yet to step into your room. We are supposed to lost the truth of the veil. With compassion. That's not where you're going. I have made sure you get traced from the Arkham Asylum and Gotham. Still have some friends there.
He's not happy with it. Are we gonna see that? I heard they cut out Lex Luthor out of Justice League. The bells are been rung. See, this part makes much more sense with that Steppenwolf clip, because in the actual cut they took that out, and we assume, because we're comic book nerds, we all kind of assume when he says ding 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 or bing bing ting ting ting, you know, it's like it sounds very much familiar with the pizza crowd, you know. He's coming. Ding 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 ding. So much comics nerds were like, well, he didn't really say ping 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 ping, but it's very similar, so we kind of know what is going on. And if you don't remember, he flipped this upside down, so the devil came from the sky and not from down below. Here's Bruce Wayne. He's walking out towards the future. He's no longer walking towards his old Wayne Manor, which has been burnt, decimated. It's my dog barking. Hey, Harvey. 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 Yeah, this part. And closely, dirt rising, and now, vroom, ning. So there you have it. I'm not sure how Superman's gonna come back. That's all gonna be revealed in less than a week. So really looking forward to seeing that. But like I said, this movie is my favorite film of all time, the ultimate cut. If without the Ultimate Cut, it would have been like Man of Steel, theatrical Batman v Superman. But with Ultimate Cut, it just goes over that. It has everything. It's got Batman, it's got Superman, it's got Wonder Woman, it's got intrigue, it's got incredible dialogue, it's got a plot that is pieced together towards the end of the film. It's like a puzzle piece. It's almost LA Confidential in a way that we don't know who we know who the bad guy is, but you find out as you go along. You find out how everything puts together, and it's multiple views of it with an epic third act finale. Yes, it's CG, but I love that. Why not utilize a 21st century technology? Do the CG. It's fine. Do it. And it's great. It's fantastic. The music is fantastic. I love everything about it. So, oh man, it's been a great journey. As this is the second part of Superman's arc in this Superman-based trilogy, and that's why I wanted to do the Ultimate Cut, because it's more Superman focused. And it's on the road to Justice League, man. This is it. This is right after. We could have gone to Wonder Woman, but I feel that I want to keep it within the trilogy. Although Wonder Woman, the end of the Wonder Woman actually goes into Justice League, so there's that. But I'm gonna keep it with focus on Superman, because he is my all-time favorite character. But there's a lot of stuff to take in this movie. I'm sure there's a ton more that I did not go through. I am a little tired. It's over almost 1 a.m. in the morning. But I hope you enjoyed this commentary. I hope you're watching the film with me and enjoying the film. Enjoying everything about it, the dialogue, the picture, the cinematography, the music. It just works so well. It's a masterpiece, and it's an epic masterpiece at that, and I think it's underappreciated, but I think it's slowly becoming more and more appreciated. I think people are slowly coming around, and in pop culture there's so many references in here. There's so many dialogue choices, phrases like do you bleed, the Martha thing, everything. It's ingrained in our pop culture now, and I think that's great. I think ultimately that is awesome in the long run. And of course, like I said before, when Justice League comes out, I hope people come back to this and realize that this is the direction that it was going to. We had to start somewhere to get to this point to make it more meaningful. Superman's return, Superman to Superman's truest form, it had to be more meaningful by going through these different arcs of him. And I think that's fantastic. So anyway, I want to thank you so much for joining me on this Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition commentary. And so I look forward to what you guys think about Justice League when we come out. Maybe we'll do a commentary for that when it comes out on digital. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.